Welcome to another episode of Technical Earth Syndicate. We are here to inspire, inform, and entertain you. I'm your host, Michael Buffington. As always, we have Alan Gray and Chris Stewart, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello, pretty people.
I'm sorry we haven't had any extra people on.
So here's something creepy. This is our 13th episode, and it's going to be released on Friday the 13th.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, we should have skipped this week. This could be bad.
Something disastrous is going to happen.
Well, you said you are going to move your computer over to a new case.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't do it this weekend, huh?
Yeah, maybe you should wait.
Wait till
I
Saturday.
just won't do it on
least.
Friday. Yeah, Saturday afternoon or something.
Yep. Make sure you have a three-eyed frog sitting next to you or something, and like a rabbit's foot or something for good luck. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, well, for the show today, we got a couple of discussions of our TES news right now, and then we're gonna have some game announcements along with a special review from Chris, and also another Alan's Tech Corner with a bunch of new information with technology. So,
TES news.
All right. So this week, Valve has unveiled their Steam Greenlight program. It's basically a place where indie devs are going to be able to put their games on Steam, and the community is going to be able to vote on which ones are actually released. It looks pretty cool. They can post whatever info, screenshots, videos. And if they have a playable demo, they can throw that up on there too. It's going to be out in around the end of August in 2012. So
yeah, it's
pretty soon.
This is gonna benefit a lot of indie developers and just people trying to get into the industry that only have a team of 2 or 3 people working on a game.
Yeah.
And they have a couple, requirements for whether or not it can be shown on there. You have to have a certain number of screenshots. You have to have one video. And I think there was something else, something about I think it's a picture for like the thumbs of games.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have like one of those.
And you have to abide by the rules. Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing if you look at Steam's rules for uploading games and stuff like that, they updated it. I'm sure there's no racial stuff, like hardcore stuff like that people don't want to see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a violent game that's okay because there's plenty of indie games that are violent.
Yeah, as long as you say, hey, this is violent,
Right, but if it's like completely discriminating, I'm guessing it might get denied.
I don't think you can play as the Nazis on an indie game. I don't think
you probably could, as long as it's tasteful.
Yeah.
How is playing as Nazis tasteful?
Didn't they have like some Nazis versus dinosaurs game on Steam or something? It was some mod.
No, well, you were playing the Nazis and they had dinosaurs, and they were against the Allies who had no dinosaurs. Dino D-Day, I think is what it's called, something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, this is just gonna Steam, man. They're going crazy with all the new features. I mean, with the Steam Workshop and actually the filmmaker, and that's by the way, that is public now. Everyone can get access to the beta now. It was funny, after the last podcast, I actually got into the beta the next day. So
and then it came up on Steam a couple days after that.
Yeah,
you're not special anymore.
No,
I'm not. I was special for a few days.
But then, they this voting thing they're bringing in, they even brought it in on the new Steam sale they started today or Thursday if you're listening to this on Friday.
Right.
Yep, they brought in the Steam Summer Sale started, and then they added voting for the next round of cheap games. Right,
and that will play a big factor of what games are wanted on Steam, well, indie games and everything like that. Even kind of some of the bigger games that don't get shown, but. We'll see how that goes. It's supposed to be arriving at the end of August or sometime in August. That's what they said on the little website they posted about it. So cool stuff from Valve, man. Next up, I want to talk about a discussion about the future of cloud technology. Like cloud servers and all. Pretty much what we're starting to base all of our activities on technology about right now. The different types of cloud technology can be, either, okay, let's talk about Steam. Steam has cloud saves, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Apple has, on Apple TV and everything, they have a cloud server called iCloud that actually lets you stream your videos, your music, whatever. And then there's the independent companies that, like, what Box and Dropbox and everything like that actually make you pay a subscription fee for having an amount of space to store your stuff on there. Now that's their type of cloud storage. But we're beginning to dip into a new era where we're going to be seeing everything's going to be digitalized and everything's going to be on a cloud server for the most part. There's a lot of companies wanting to push full cloud. I mean, I'm talking from just streaming a video game or streaming this. You know, what's that one company that streams video games? It's
OnLive, and then there's Gaikai.
There's a few. Yeah, there's a few of these companies that are going to be doing streaming video games. So we're going to see a big change in the next few years. We are. Mm-hmm. Whether, you know, a lot of people like physical items and everything like that. But how do you guys feel about that right now?
Well, there's good and bad in all of it, really. I mean, you know, it's awesome having all your stuff kind of on one server and not having to clog up your computer with games or files, whatever you kind of have on your cloud server. But at the same time, what if those servers go down or, you know, somebody hacks into those servers and steals all your stuff? It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Well, a lot of companies have backup plans. Now, I have the Apple TV, and it has a cloud server. Now, it was about a week or so ago, I couldn't have access to a TV show I downloaded because the iCloud server was during maintenance. So that was only a couple hours. That's to be expected of technology. I mean, even with Steam, sometimes their stuff's down and we can't play Left 4 Dead online on a, you know, community server or whatever. So, you know, a lot of people are like, we should worry. What if Steam goes out of business? I don't see that happening for a very long time, but it's not a 100% guarantee that they won't, you know?
Yeah, people always come up with, you know, when you look at discussions about cloud gaming and, you know, digital downloads and things like that and cloud storage, everybody always comes up with what if the company goes under. But honestly, I mean, if you look at the market with these people, I haven't seen any big names go under. The only one I have seen was that one that's in litigation right now in the courts. I forget the name of it off the top of my head right now. But that's just because Kim.com, I think, is the head of it or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the only one I've heard of, and that was because the federal government took him down, and that's because he was doing quasi-illegal things. Or possibly quasi-illegal things. We don't know yet.
Mega Upload. That's
Mega Upload. Yeah, that's the name of it. Yeah. So that's the only one I've seen in recent history that's gone under, and I mean, honestly, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean,
with some of the bigger companies, Valve, they're pretty big and they have a lot of money, but anything can happen. I just don't see it ever happening because there's a lot of these other companies backing them up, no matter what. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Apple with their iCloud server that they announced. What was it, last year?
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Is it just they give you 5 gigs and you can buy storage? No, it's a lot more than that. It actually, you know, they transferred all their media over to cloud, you know, and that was a selling point for me in the Apple TV as well because I already had some iTunes stuff bought. So, and some of these other companies are doing the same thing. Google has their cloud stuff too, and Origin. I just don't see any issues anytime soon, but it's a possibility that that could change. You never know. Like Chris said, someone could hack into the stuff and not steal your stuff, but
they stole my
mess with the company, steal your save games.
I know.
Mess with the company to make them shut down. You know, what if that cyber attack happens to a company like that? Take you know, the PlayStation the PlayStation network that went down last summer, you know?
Oh man.
That was bad, and what if that happened to a service like Steam or Apple or anything like that? Now they have the best security techs on their teams most of the time, but you know that's what they said about PlayStation as well, Sony.
Yeah,
and apparently they didn't. So
even if you have physical products, I mean, someone could still come in your home and steal them, and you're gone. I mean, you're always going to have that unknown factor of something happening, and you just got to deal with it. Just roll with it. I mean.
Now, I am one I love digital content, and a lot of other people like physical content, and a lot of people like physical content. But as we progress through society today and technology throughout the years, we're beginning to let go of that physical content more or less, and a lot of people think that we shouldn't. But what does it really matter? it matters to them because they think they might lose it, like we were talking about. So I'd like to hear all your guys' thoughts that are listening, maybe on our Facebook or anywhere. Just shoot me an email too, and let us know what your thoughts are about cloud storage and cloud technology and all the cloud servers and what you think about all that. So
if there's any interesting ones, we'll even bring them up online without the
My recommendation personally, I would use both of them. Use the cloud servers as well, but kind of have a backup on like a external hard drive or something for your like important files or whatever.
Right.
So
yeah, I have a backup on my external hard drive for all my movies on iTunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So next up on Games and Tech, Chris, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right. Last week we talked a little bit about Ouya. It's that $99 Android platform. This week they put up their Kickstarter page, and in just a few days they've raised over $4 million. It's insane. Right now they're up to $4,087,852 in just 3 days.
How many days have they got left?
27 days as of right now. Yeah, the numbers are just climbing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you got to note that there is no first party no third party support for this yet. No third party company has come out and said, "Yeah, we're making games for it." Nobody has.
Well, and there's talk that they're putting Minecraft on there.
Well, Mojang just left a comment for him and said, "Hey, we'll keep a look at this. If it does do well, we'll put some games out for it." Yeah. If it does well, they didn't say they're going to put games on it, but then Ouya went ahead and took the Minecraft logo and photoshopped it in all over their stuff.
Yeah, and they pretty much said that Minecraft's going to be on it, but
Mojang didn't confirm.
Yeah, they're looking at it. And it looks really interesting,
facts, man. Yeah, it looks cool and interesting, but a lot of people have concerns that they're just going to be porting over Android, tablet and phone games over to it, which is fine, but as long as they even said like with your phone or tablet you can control the game with that as a controller, which that seems cool and all. I want to see a little bit more about it.
Yeah, they've shown like a prototype controller, I guess, but it looks like basically a smaller version of the Wii U tablet and the Xbox One. Yeah, it's got like a little screen in the middle for the the phone games and stuff. But what's really cool about this is that it's got the dev kits built into it, so any developer is going to be able to make their games straight on their TV and be able to upload them with that. So I think that's pretty cool. It's definitely worth looking into.
Now, can your game console get a virus? Next up.
Do you own a Kindle Fire? Would you like to put Jelly Bean on it? Well, now you can. They put Android 4.1 on Jelly Bean on Kindle Fires. Y'all like my commercial, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Activision revealed a new Walking Dead first-person shooter video game starring Daryl and Meryl, the brothers from the series and also the comics. Now, I don't know how much they're basing off of the comics or if they're basing it off the movie, but they said that it's going to be a first-person shooter with Walking Dead. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd like to see, footage and a trailer before they make all these bold claims, but it sounds like it's going to be a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, from what I've read about it, it's got to have a lot of like stealth elements in there. You're not trying to run and gun and kill every zombie on the screen, but you're trying to sneak by them, and you got limited ammo, of course, because Daryl uses the crossbow.
Right.
So could be cool.
There you go.
Now, another update from last week. We talked about High Noon's Marvel game that they're supposed to be showing off on at Comic-Con. And they actually announced that it's going to be something called Hit Monkey. I've actually never heard of this, but apparently it's kind of a popular comic. Deadpool's actually shown up in a few of them, so that could be interesting. Maybe he'll show up in the game somewhere. But that's supposed to come out next year in 2013. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel vs. Capcom Origins has been announced, and it should be released in September 15th. Or in September for $15, not on 15th, for $15.
Wow.
And 12,000 Microsoft points.
1,200.
And that's cool.
Yes, 1,200. Sorry, I added an extra zero there.
Capcom likes to nickel and dime us, but that's kind of excessive.
Now, is it going to be on PS3 and Xbox?
Yes, it's $15 on PS3, 1,200 Microsoft points on Xbox. And
I could see myself picking it up for 15.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. It's actually 2 games in one. It's got the first Marvel vs. Capcom, and then it's got Marvel Superheroes.
That's a brand new one, right?
No, that's actually like one of the first, Capcom Marvel fighting games. It was just the Marvel characters in it.
Okay.
And I think it was that one, and then they had like Street Fighter versus Marvel, and then they kind of went on from there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Micheal Fassbender, who played Magneto in X-Men First Class, and he was recently in Prometheus, which is awesome, by the way. Check it out. He has signed on to both star in and co-produce the Assassin's Creed movie for Ubisoft. That I'm pretty excited about because he's a pretty great actor from what I've seen. So,
yeah, game movies that don't have the best track record, so I'm a little scared.
Well,
I don't want them to hurt it. Silent Hill was good, yeah, but I don't want them to hurt Assassin's Creed. It's such a good story. Yeah. I don't want them to hurt it with a movie.
Yeah, it's Ubisoft though. And did you guys see the Prince of Persia movie?
Yeah, I actually did. That was actually not bad.
Yeah, it was. I guess they were kind of disappointed with the return sales or whatever, but movie wise, it was actually not that bad.
It brought me back to like watching like The Mummy, that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
A little bit cheesy, but still good,
Yeah. But like I said, Micheal Fassbender is a really good actor. And like with the story, they haven't really said too much of what's going on yet, whether it's going to be, with Desmond and all of his other guys, or if it's going to be a completely original thing. But more to follow on that pretty soon, I'm sure.
Right. Next up, Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming to the US and Europe early 2013. It actually, I've seen a lot of videos and screenshots of the beta or something like that. It looks very cool, and it looks like they're sticking with the roots of Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, it's already out in Japan. I wish I could play it, but I'm so excited for it to come out here.
They had a horrible error on it in the beta for a while. Females were having issues with their tops, and they were flying around a lot. That's as nice as I can be explaining that. If you want to look it up online. It's hilarious.
Basically, the chick's boobs are flying everywhere.
That's hilarious.
I wasn't gonna go that way with it, but yeah,
that's
look it up.
That's a bad glitch.
It was hilarious.
Wait, no, it isn't.
Made me laugh a lot.
A little bit of an update on PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Toru Inoue and Tekken's Heihachi Mishima have been revealed as 2 new fighters. Toru is kind of a Japanese mascot for Sony, so American gamers probably might not recognize him. He's actually one of the little avatar pictures if you're on the PS3, and I think he was on the Street Fighter versus Tekken recently, and Heihachi is going to be his younger version from like the first couple of Tekken games. So that's kind of how it's tying into the whole PlayStation heritage, because the Tekken games, they're multi-platform now, but at first you could only get them on PlayStation, outside of the arcade, of course.
I hope he has a skin where he's in his diaper from, which one was it, Tekken 4 or 5 or something?
I don't know about all that, but I think for one of his super moves, he's got his little bear dude, Kuma, like fighting with him. So,
cool.
So that should be funny. But release date they've confirmed for October 13th for this year. So look forward to that.
On Guild Wars, there's going to be a beta weekend from July 20th through the 22nd. Should be really fun. If you already didn't know, Guild Wars 2 is going to be coming out this year, August 28th.
Yes.
So in this beta weekend, it's going to be the last one, I'm pretty sure anyways. They're revealing the other 2 races, and basically you're going to be able to play the full game without any limitations for that weekend, and then you have to wait a whole month before you get to play the real game. So that should be pretty fun.
Well, for those fans of Star Wars Old Republic or people who've been waiting to pick it up, the new MMO has just opened up a free trial for up to level 15. You can play all the way up to level 15, which is a lot of the game, honestly, free. So that'd be cool. Also, there is a thing going on, I believe, until like the 17th, where you can play if you were an old subscriber and have quit, you can go back and play and experience a new expansion. So
yeah, they got like a new patch with a bunch of extra stuff on
Oh
it,
yeah,
so.
they're looking for group now finally. A couple other
that's
cool
awesome.
things. Yeah, I got it loaded up. I'm gonna play a little bit of it here, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
All right, you crazy cats out there. This is TES Review. Yeah.
Well, last weekend I played a little bit of the new free-to-play games that they released on Steam. I checked out Dungeon Fighter Online, Blacklight, Retribution, and MicroVolts. Dungeon Fighter is kind of it's one of about 600,000, Korean MMOs that's out there right now. And it's kind of, how would you describe it? It's like the Streets of Rage, Final Fight type side-scrolling brawler games, but like in an MMO format. So kind of cool, but I don't know if it's anything I would stick with. Blacklight Retribution, it's another free online shooter. It's actually really cool. I liked it a lot. It had a lot of unlockable elements in it, and it's got where you can pay for the items that you have for a little while, and they'll go away after a certain amount of days. But then you can unlock them without having to pay the money as well. So
it kind of reminded me of a mixture of like Call of Duty with trying to think what else. There's a bunch of elements. It's a fast-paced shooter, and you can get kills pretty fast. I mean, you aim for the head, bam, even with a lower level weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's a good little shooter for someone that doesn't have the money to pick up a new game right now or anything like that. So
yeah, and definitely don't worry about having to buy all the best weapons in the game to do well, because you can, start out and be getting kills. So
you can completely enjoy that game without having to pay for their microtransaction features. So,
yeah. And the last game I tried out was MicroVolts. It's another online shooter, but this one's a third-person one. It's kind of like Team Fortress, I guess, but it's got the team deathmatch. It's got the capture the flag type thing, and this one is a little bit more, I guess, restrictive with the items that you can buy. It has what do you call it? It's got one set of currency that you unlock just regular through the game, and then it's got a second one that you have to actually pay money for, and that's where you get like all your cool items with, like, they have
pay to win.
Well, not really pay to win, but it's a lot of it is the customization. Like, you get a bunch of different pieces for your character. Like, I was trying to get a scouter from Dragon Ball Z that they have on there. But that's one of the things that you have to use the second currency where you have to buy the actual money.
So it's like it's like a hat system that you have to pay for.
Kinda, but like with Team Fortress, the hats I think give you little perks in the game. But
out of all three of these free-to-play games, which one do you recommend the most?
Definitely Blacklight. Like we said, it's the fast-paced kind of Call of Duty shooter, but you don't have to buy all the weapons to do well, like we said earlier.
And
it's definitely accessible.
Now, all those are on Steam, and you don't have to play them on Steam, I don't think, with Dungeon Fighter. Or actually, no, I think all of them you can play off of Steam, too, if you desire.
Yeah, all of them you can just go to their websites. Like Dungeon Fighter is on Nexon, and Blacklight was on... where were they on? I don't remember where they were, but you can each go to their respective websites and get the clients, and you don't have to be on Steam with it if you don't want to.
Right.
Alan's Tech Corner.
Well, Pluto, the planet that's not a planet, but somehow is still considered a planet.
It's a planet.
Well, they looked at it the other day through the Hubble, and they found the Hubble Space Telescope, and they found a fifth moon. So now the planet that's not a planet has 5 moons.
Do they still think it's not a planet?
Well, NASA has actually dropped back to calling it a dwarf planet.
What did they call it before dwarf planet? Because I thought that's what they were originally going to call it.
They were calling it a planet, and then they downgraded it from not a planet, and they didn't really have a name, and now they came up with dwarf planet.
I swear they had dwarf planet already after they came up with the whole it's not a planet deal.
Who knows, man? But
NASA, get your act together.
I know, exactly right.
You want to get funded? Give us back our planet.
Yeah, we want Pluto as a planet. We're going to go picketing. Who's got the paint and the signs?
I do.
Oh, man.
Road trip. Okay. Well, I have a love affair with quantum computing, and I've talked about it several times. Well, we got some updated news here. An international team of scientists recently got a qubit to stay alive at room temperature for nearly 2 seconds, this is very, very cool, because normally you have to get a qubit will not stay alive at room temperature.
Right.
Normally you have to have it really freaking cold to get this to happen.
Now, for any listeners that don't know what a qubit is, can you explain that real fast?
Yeah, a qubit is basically like a bit, but it's a quantum bit. A bit in a computer is a 1 or a 0.
Okay.
Qubit is a 1 or a 0, or maybe a 0 or not a 0. Basically, it's in superposition. You really, what it is it's 2 bits that can be anything at the same moment, and it's called superposition. That's what a qubit is. So they got 2 of these bits to stay alive at room temperature for 2 seconds. So this is really cool. This was done at Harvard.
Of course.
Harvard
always does all the cool stuff.
I know, right? I so wish I would have been able to go to Harvard. But it was led by the physics professor Micheal Fassbender. I hope I said his name right. Hope I didn't butcher it. I'm bad with names. Okay, so now we got two little stories here about electricity. The first one is somebody managed to transfer electricity through concrete, and what they did with it.
What?
Yes, they're transferring electricity through concrete, 10-centimeter thick concrete. That's pretty thick concrete, and they're getting 50 to 60 watts out of this thing. And what they did is they created this special automobile tire, a special car tire, and they put it on top of it, and then that car tire is able to suck this electricity through the concrete into its tire and power. Well, the rig they had it on was a light bulb, but I mean, you can conceivably see this going onto a car or something and being able to drive down the road and charge your electric car at the same time.
Huh.
So you don't have to worry about those overhanging electrical lines, for like the trolleys and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can just put it all on the ground and let them roll over it.
Huh.
And you don't have to worry about the third rail,
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
AT&T needs to figure out how to do this with their cell phone signals. I
then you might have to actually lay on.
inside.
You might have to lay on the floor with your cell phone, then like touch to the concrete.
Of course, you could do it, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Just see a whole bunch of people laying on the ground with the phone sandwiched between their head and the concrete. Can you hear me now?
Better laying on the ground than driving or walking into the street.
That's true. Well, the next one is kind of one of those, green initiative things. It was designed by a Korean inventor named Ryan Jong-woo Cho. I hope I said that. I probably killed it. I'm sorry. Forgive me. He made this water pipe called the ES Pipe Waterwheel. And what it does is it goes between the spigot and the water, where the water comes from. And it actually has water wheels inside of it. So whenever you turn on the spigot, the water wheel will spin and charge batteries on these little light bulbs he set up on top of it. And these light bulbs you can then unscrew at night and put them on a table somewhere and they light up. So the idea is for a lot of places in Africa where they have running water but they don't have electricity, they can hook this water wheel, this ES pipe water wheel, to their pipe, and when they're getting the water out and do their daily chores with the water, it'll charge these light bulbs. And at night they can use the light bulbs to light their house.
Huh.
And it's just kind of a cool idea that we could even put these in homes here and actually generate electricity by using water.
Now, how long did these light bulbs last?
I didn't see anything about that, but I mean, if it's just a little LED light bulb, which is what it looked like, I mean, conceivably they can last all night long if you want them all night long. And I think the idea is more or less so people could read at night and do things like that.
Okay.
So.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
This weekend should be interesting for all of us. We all have the Dungeon Defenders game that we picked up earlier this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the heck out of that. That game's fun.
That's a pretty fun game. And then also, Steam Summer Sale is here, and the reason why I'm sighing is because it's bad for us, very bad for us, because we spend all our money.
Yeah, my wallet's already hidden. I can't find it now. It ran away.
Yeah, I just got paid today, so I don't
you're
know what's gonna happen.
I doubt I'm gonna pick up that much. There's a couple games I'm looking for that might be a little bit cheaper. We'll see.
I already saw Legend of Grimlocks on there for like $5 right now.
Yeah, I was actually curious about getting
that.
One.
That game's fun. I still haven't beat it. I need to go back and play it, but
yeah,
it's a fun game. Hard but fun.
Yeah, and this weekend I'm gonna be probably rebuilding my computer. Like I said, I got a new case that's gonna be coming today, so I'll probably be doing that. And
yeah, I'm still trying to get all my Warhammer guys painted. It's a slow process, but I'll be glad when it's done. But between that, I'm probably going to be messing around with the Movie Maker thing on Steam.
Right. I also, yeah, I might have a little bit extra time after I do my computer up this weekend and see if I can make me a film or something. Well, that's it for their show. You can follow us on Twitter. As always, mine is MBuffTES.
CStewTES.
And as always, A-Grade-TES.
All right. We are on iTunes, Facebook, YouTube,
Steam.
Steam. I don't know anymore. We're on everything.
Did you say Facebook? Because we're on Facebook
Yeah, I
too.
did say Facebook. Facebook.
We are everywhere.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
As we end today's episode, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Emerald Coast Productions, and you listeners. If you have any rants, comments, or questions about the show, please email me, Michael Buffington, at techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and please don't text and drive. The life you may save may be your own. Until next time, Technical Earth Syndicate, signing off.